Howdy. Time for another edition of ACC Baseball Etc, presented as always by our good friends at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Get ready for a new season of fishing fun with Academy Sports and Outdoors and reel in the best gear at low prices every day. Plus, Academy offers easy ways to shop and save time, like free 1 hour in-store or curbside pickup on all academy.com orders. I'm Daron Vaught. This is our second edition of the show for this week, and it's a special one. As a disclaimer, there might be some nitty-gritty baseball talk that comes out of this, but this is not going to be what typically happens with me and Gravy, perhaps. Jack DeLongchamps, Champs for short, if you know, you know, is with me here to discuss walk-up music. We did this last year. We're gonna do a different spin on it and talk about some of our favorite walk-up songs in the ACC and the greater college baseball universe. Champs, howdy. We're reunited, and it feels so good.
Listening to you hit that read just perfectly made me miss Jacksonville dearly. Good to see you, friend.
All right, well, Jacksonville feels like a good launch pad for walk-up discussion because both on and off the air at the Jacks Classic, you and I had many a discussion about walk-up songs. We had, what were our favorites there? Justin LeBron comes up to Ain't It Fun by Paramore. Just awesome. And at the time, we knew he was capable of being the best player in the country. We didn't know he was, in fact, the best player in the country. That was great. Ohio State's Trey Lipsy with the NBA Youngboy walk-up, Drug Addiction.
As a big brother that feels like is always late to the game on the cool songs. The Drug Addiction by Youngboy really floored me. I was like, I'm all in on Lipsy and the Buckeyes. Like, I was convinced they were regional bound after that weekend. We even learned that Cade Snell of Alabama had Golden Pipes because we were so astounded by the Paramore selection by Justin LeBron. We had to go right to that honcho Rob Vaught himself and go, oh, the boys know how to pick a walk-up, huh? And he's like, yeah, we're pretty tight. We've got this thing dialed in.
It's a musical group, right? Is what we found out. Very musical group. Speaking of which, I meant to text you the other day about this. Old friend alert. Former Virginia Tech Hokie Gavin Cross is now in the Kansas City Royals organization, and he posted it was a prompt on his Instagram story to suggest what his walk-up song should be this year. Now, I know Gavin a little bit. He's from Bristol, Virginia / Tennessee. They're on the state line. He and I bonded a little bit when the collegiate national team with him on it sort of barnstormed the Appalachian League. This was shortly after they had all rebranded and become summer collegiate teams. And he hit a huge game-winning grand slam in Bristol as part of that tour. And everybody else on the team, I mean, you can imagine Brock Jones from Stanford looking around Appalachia in southwestern Virginia and northeast Tennessee and just being like, wait, you're from here? So, like, Gavin and I connected on that level. We were the only two guys in the traveling party who were like, yeah, no, this is home for me.
Yeah.
So I suggested, and this is part of the Jacksonville residue, you do some digging on Youngboy, right? And on the same album, the very next track after Drug Addiction, which is what Trey Lipsy walks up to, which we loved, there's a track called Crossroads. Do you know this one? It's super walk-upable.
I know, but looking at the NBA Youngboy catalog, they all are pretty much the same song, just a different iteration. So I believe you. I believe you. With that line, my little brothers are going to want to kill me. But I'm all in. I think everything he sings is probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but everything he raps is definitely walk-upable for sure.
Yeah,
it definitely meets the criteria.
So I suggested Crossroads. I was like, Gavin Cross, you get it. Okay. I have no idea if he took the recommendation. I plan on finding out. I'll pull him up on MILB TV at some point and see if I can hear it. So anyways, no, that was a piece of of Jacksonville aftermath that I had not yet shared with you. So
it's beautiful.
Let's first get some criteria out of the way, right? Okay, we're going to talk about our favorite walk-ups, but we've got to explain why. What makes a walk-up a good one, a favorite? What goes into it for you? Obviously, the song, there's the musical merit of it.
Yeah.
There's a build of sorts, but it's got to happen pretty quickly because you only get the first up to 20 seconds, maybe.
Need a hook. Have it right away, right?
Yeah.
I think the question begs, if you're pitcher or hitter, right? Pitcher, you get a little bit more time. You get a little bit more leeway. You get the buildup, right? Whether you're a starter or a reliever coming out of the pen. Now, as a hitter, you got to catch it fast. Now, we've talked about this as we were digging deep and doing our notes. Don't have to be a good player to have a good walk-up. There's no better example than this guy right here. Now, if you're just
pointing to himself for those audio consumers.
Yeah, I always forget, man, right? For our YouTube viewers, you know how dumb I am now. A guy like Justin LeBron, anything he walks up to, you're going, yeah, that guy's so cool. But because it was Paramore, it adds another layer, which is the most important element of a good walk-up. Got to be genuine. Got to be authentic to yourself. It's got to be you. Not every guy needs to be Kobe Bryant, like the Black Mamba, listening to like screamo music and going 0 dark 30 before a game. If you're a vibey guy, if you're a country redneck, right, or if you like the hardcore rap, it's got to be true to you. So as we like kind of listed through some dudes throughout not only the ACC but across the country, I think the names that we bring up, the songs match the personality, which is, I think, a must in my world.
Yeah, and there's a psychological element to what LeBron and his choice does to you when you hear it and you see him come up to the plate. He is fun. He is a very fun player. The word is in the song. Ain't it fun? It's also kind of light and bouncy, and he's a bouncy, light, moving, athletic player. So it very much, you think of it almost like if you're watching a TV show, or maybe like a silent film would be the best example. So, you know, like the old school black and white films where they don't talk, there's no dialogue, right?
Yeah.
The tunes in that would bounce or lull or drone on with whatever the character was doing. So to me anyway, you got to almost look at it as it's the silent film interpretation of who the
100%.
player is, right?
100%. Yeah.
So I think, all right, I think that pretty well squares it up, because everybody gets the musical component of it. I think that is intuitive. It goes without saying. Okay. Where would you like to start with it? Do you have a favorite from the ACC, like a far and away favorite?
I don't. The ACC was tough, and you made it easy on us to be able to like skip through all these reads. Now, for our listeners at home, and you haven't seen the Daron Vaught thread of walk-up songs, you're lying to yourself. If you need a good playlist, he put the boys on. This is only going to grow and get better year by year.
With that said, I should clear some air here. We received the full list from, I believe, 4 ACC teams.
Okay.
Which is not nearly enough if you're listening and you're responsible at all for social media for an ACC baseball team and you did not post, or I did not post your walk-ups. You could stand to be a little bit better next year. It's fine. It's fine. But you could stand to be a little bit better next year.
Yeah. But hey, I'm going to be your anger translator for a second. You said that very politely. Hey, be better. Just be better. The people want to know. Okay. They just want to know. I was actually in Knoxville, Tennessee last weekend. And based off of our iteration, I went and did some interviews with the boys, and I had like 6 or 7 guys tell me their walk up, and I posted it. And in 5 minutes, a proud season ticket holder at Lindsey Nelson Stadium sent me the Spotify of the last 10 years of Tennessee walk-up songs. She had them all. This is just a fan. She had like the entire catalog of every single walk-up that Tennessee baseball has walked up to in the last decade. It's unbelievable.
That's Exhibit A. People want to know. People want to know. So we are, consider us team post the walk-ups. It should be a non-negotiable. But anyway, so with that being said, we have full info for Duke, Miami, Wake Forest, and North Carolina. It's kind of tough to go analyzing walk-up lists past that in the ACC. But everybody likes music, even if you're exclusively an ACC baseball fan. You like music, you like baseball, you like walk-ups. So we're going to dip our toes into some other teams, some other conferences.
Yeah.
This will be good. All right, so I want to get the ball rolling on ACC teams. Is that all right?
Come on, let's jump in.
I'm going to start with Miami. Not having a great year on the field, but they've got some heat here. Some absolute heat here. I've talked a lot about Wichita State transfer Derek Williams, who hit the only home run of the series. I called Miami at North Carolina, by the way. 3 games, 1 home run. Grills by Nelly. Yeah. Listen, I'm a 35-year-old man. I love that. Love that pick. But I was astounded to find out freshman outfielder Michael Torres also walks up to Nelly. Ride with me.
Look at the youngsters digging deep into the archives. Love that from them.
Yeah. I love this. It's sort of a musical renaissance, like the things that were popular in the late 90s and 2000s are kind of back. It's great. It's everything cyclical. So,
well, can I match you, good sir? If we're going to go deep back into the yearbook, I have to shout out the boy. He was the mayor of Conway, South Carolina, when he played 5 years for the Coastal Chanticleers. Killer walk-ups in the Palace. He makes his way down to South Beach. Coral Gables, watch out for the one and only Will Smith. And what does Will Smith walk up to playing for Miami? Other than Miami by Will Smith. It's just beautifully done. It's beautifully done.
Incredible.
They put it on a tee form. I'm not so convinced that he didn't choose Miami in the transfer portal so he could just walk up to that song. Truthfully.
It's the ultimate. It's not a troll. What would be the term for that? He's not trolling people, but it's just like it is the ultimate instance of committing to the bit.
Yeah. You know what it is too? It'd have been more disrespectful for him not to choose the song than if he did.
Right. Can you imagine?
Yeah. You missed. It was 80 poo groove right down the middle and you took. What are we doing? Yeah.
Miami, for what it's worth, also beautifully done on the graphic representation of these. So it's like the tapes stacked. I mean, that's really, really well done.
I have it pulled up for our YouTube viewers at home. For those listening along, this is really beautifully done. I'm a big fan of the admin down in Coral Gables. You guys crushed.
Yeah, really slick looking graphic for that, and creative, right? Because it's one thing to just make a nice graphic that's got the font, and we appreciate that because again, we are team post the walk-ups at all costs. I posted a spreadsheet that Wake Forest Sports Info person sent me, so we needed it to get out there, right? At all costs, but you can get some style points. You can get Arkansas, for instance. You mentioned the Spotify playlist. That's how they posted theirs.
Very cool.
I mean, come on. Really good. Really good. Jack, I'm going to move to North Carolina.
Okay.
I did a little mea culpa with regards to Alex Madera earlier this week. He took some strays from me a couple of weeks ago and had a really big weekend against Duke. He rocks, man. Oh, my God. Like the double play, the walk-off hit in the 14th, and he walks up to Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani.
Can't teach it. You just can't teach it.
Intangible. It's very good. I've got one more from North Carolina. We didn't mention this as a criterion earlier. Crowd participation. Huge. And sort of the insistence for fan engagement with a track is a tricky balance, right? Because nobody wants to be told what to do.
Right.
You got to feel like it's your decision and it's part of your thing. I think that's what happened here at Boshamer Stadium with Liberty transfer Kane Kepley, who is their leadoff batter, walking up to the Circle of Life from The Lion King. I don't think when he chose this song, he could have anticipated that North Carolina fans would start bringing like stuffed Ramses, their mascot. They're like bringing little plush Ramses to the park so that when that song hits, they can just like hold it up like it's Simba. It's
good.
Incredible. And obviously those with little ones, children, they're holding them up too. You've seen it, the Simba cam at sporting events. It's great. It's really fun when Kane Kepley steps up to the plate.
When you get the interactive piece as well, you understand that guy's liked in the dugout because that guy has to get dugout interaction first, and then the stadium follows the dugout. It's not like we're talking Savannah Bananas where the guy walking to the box is trying to get the people rolling, right? Like he's locked in. So kudos to him. And to have a leadoff guy set the stage and to have everybody jumped in from the first pitch, I'm all in. I'm going to go outfielder, Cooper Holbrook, another Charleston guy with a connected city connection. Return of the Mac flirts with I don't think it's overused. There are some old school 70s, 80s rock songs that have become overused. This is one that I think he's going to be the trendsetter of. That's a good one. Sneaky, slid right on in, and I'm a big fan.
It's a great walk up. I will say, Mac Horvath for North Carolina.
Was he there first?
He was, yeah. So, but his name is Mac. So that was sort of the reasoning. Independent of that, because I've seen a couple of Macs choose that song. Or
yeah.
if
so outside of the name game.
Yeah, outside of playing it by the name, I don't know that I've seen it a ton, which makes it fair, like total fair play.
It slides in. I'd like another old school rock and roll for Jeopardy for 400, please. Let's go. Let's go Olin Johnson. We hear a lot of AC/DC in the walk-up world, but not ever do we ever hear You Shook Me All Night Long. Great A song that is unjustly underused. Big fan of Mr. Johnson and a little ACD action. North Carolina's list, they went really old school for the most part. There's a lot of country action. I see like Jason Aldean like 6 times, which might be a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
But a lot of AC/DC, some Led Zeppelin mixed in. Jackson Vanderbrake, the captain, goes Zeppelin fan. Oh.
So Vanderbrake, speaking of fan engagement and participation, he was the Stroke, Billy Squier, last year, and he would get the overhead claps with it. That I don't want to call it overdone because I don't want to discourage the awesome visuals of dugouts and fans in an entire stadium clapping above their heads. But it's maybe just like a little too easy, right? Like everyone, no matter where you do that as your walk-up song, you know people are going to do that. So it's like, okay, maybe slight points off for lack of creativity, even though it still gets the job done, right? For the Stroke. Now, again, Vanderbrake went against that this year and selected another great song. So kudos to the captain.
Kudos.
Pretty good list, but the country is kind of typical for North Carolina. They recruit the state. They get some good old North Carolina boys. That's the easiest way to put that. What about Wake?
Yeah.
You see anything there that?
He's got to be on Joe Healy's top 50 names in college baseball this year. Mr. Joe Areola. For Joe, walking up to Young Dolph. Now I'm showing my range a little bit by going from AC/DC to Young Dolph. But 100 shots and the location in the song is key. And I think that's what a lot of teams forget, is that when you're a mid-major junkie like myself, and for guys like you and me, Daron, we might not have had the option to have SIDs upstairs in the press box being like, hey, not only do I want this song, but I need you to take me to second 42.
Yeah.
We may have had some cranky old men going, you get what you get. I'm playing it from the beginning. So it's key for these big time power four guys to have insanely talented operation people behind the scene to make sure that we're lining up the walk up in the pristine spot. And that's exactly what Joe Areola did with Young Dolph and 100 shots. Very, very elite stuff from Areola coming out of the back end. Big fan.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of getting sort of the innards look at the Wake Forest operation, because they didn't design up this pretty graphic or whatever, but I was given access to their spreadsheet where the guys put the songs and the time cues in themselves. So there's an entire column on the spreadsheet that gives the time cue of when they want it started. It's very sort of, it's very in the know here.
Yeah.
Father stretch my hands. Will Ray, get well soon. My guy, that went so hard. So hard. I don't know if he'll use it next year. Maybe he'll get a wild hair and pick a new one that's equally as awesome. But I'm disappointed that because of his injury, we don't get to hear him walk into that anymore. Let's see. Is that maybe my favorite on here? We got some,
one other one. Yeah.
There's some young boy here with Wake Forest.
They went a different direction. They went complete opposite end of North Carolina. Like Cam Nelson with a little Kodak Black, Skrilla. It is, I think on the other side, you know how songs will trend? I think when Kodak was like hot, it became like the go-to walkout.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of faded into the abyss. So it's like almost like a retro pick to go back to him. So Nelson with a good one. Daron, it does feel like I was a miss. Like I was a swing and miss personally for this podcast. You should have just brought on whoever the hell picks the recap weekend video songs for Wake Forest baseball admin. I don't know who's running those accounts. Their creative team won one. Number one in the country, consensus. These guys do not miss. They do a fantastic job every week, and every song they pick is better than the last.
Yeah. Alanis Morissette, they're just again, what was once super popular, like often these picks are like late 90s, early 2000s type songs. So it's
the best one that they've rocked. And it's actually an a lot to Sam Antonacci, a former Coastal Carolina guy that's playing minor league baseball. How about that? Good name game.
Yeah.
But Wake Forest used his walk-up, obviously unknowingly. A little Natasha Bedingfield, these words.
I said Morissette. Maybe they've used her in a recap, but that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
It's all the same vibe, and it all makes me feel things. Like it takes me to a time and place, every single one that they use.
I love it. I'm looking up and down Wake's list here. By the way, again, it's sort of the opposite vibe of North Carolina. I have tried. I don't know if you've been to Wake Forest for any games yet this year. Keep an ear out. It's not just the walk-ups. The vibe at the couch. I started calling it Club Couch when I did their opening weekend series, because it's like this goes to their walk-ups too. It's just like it's vibey, it's dancey. Like,
is it clubby? Like,
yes,
are we just really okay?
Yeah. So even I don't know who's responsible for the operations of choosing music that happens between innings when it's not a designated walk up for guys. It's good. It's good. By the way, Cam Nelson, he's got Skrilla for his pitching walk up. But he, of course, has made his way into the starting lineup as an outfielder for Wake Forest. And his hitting walk up is Neon Guts by Lil Uzi Vert and Pharrell.
It's a wild move. It's a wild move. Now, do we want to go to Pharrell or do we want to stay in the ACC for a bit longer, Darren? Because when we do our homework, right? Getting to that booth with you, one of the things I learned, man, homework preparation, that's the most fun part of calling a game. Our prep for today, I'll tease you, and I don't know if we want to go there yet, if we want to finish the ACC first.
Okay.
My favorite song on this list is a Pharrell song, and it's not the one you're thinking.
No. Well, okay, let's pause on that.
Let's finish. Yeah.
Let's finish because we still got to get to Duke.
Teaser. It's a teaser.
Stick around for another like 10 or 12 minutes. We'll get to it. I also wanted to shout out reigning ACC Player of the Week, Dalton Wentz, for going with some T-Pain.
Do it right now.
Yay! Wentz with the booty work is the track. I'm going to get into story time here because a Wake Forest player doing T-Pain is personally just exceptional. I saw T-Pain in concert at Lawrence Joel Coliseum at Wake Forest and was not aware that it was like the spring break concert for students. So I went with a friend and he and I get out of an Uber right outside of the Joel and we look around and there are 3 buses that have rolled up full of college students. I was like 30 at the time. We had to be the only 2 people over 26 years old at this T-Pain concert. But it ripped. Rock. It was awesome. It was did I buy a shirt that just simply said Wisconsin?
No way. Ain't no way you have that shirt still. Do you still have the shirt? I knew that story. I didn't know you bought the concert shirt of T-Pain.
I mean, you had to be there. You had to be there. It's not one I would just pull up off of, tpain.com/merch and have it delivered or whatever. It's just
what you're going this night is so ridiculous. Let me put the cherry on top of this bad boy.
Let's commemorate it. Let's keep a piece of this night with me for not forever because I think it was a casualty to a move since then. But you got a dozen or so workouts.
You believe that there's a whole generation that's only going to know T-Pain from the Masked Singer?
Yeah, unbelievable.
You have a whole generation that only knows him from the Masked Singer, which incredible work, showcasing all range. But yeah,
but I think it's part of what has brought it back, right? It's part of the reason a true freshman, Dalton Wentz, is aware enough of his work to use it as a walk-up. So we'll take it. We'll take it if it keeps it relevant. We'll take it. That was it, I think. It for me for Wake Forest.
I had one more. It's one that's gone like viral through social media platforms, but it hits every time. Luke Billings going Delta Dawn. Tanya Tucker action. She was an oldie but goodie, and it's one of those songs that I think I'm not a TikTok guy, but I think went viral in the TikTok world. But it hits hard. It's good. It's slow. It builds. It's different. I'm all about it.
Love it. Love it. All right, we got one more ACC squad to look into, and it's Duke. These dudes were maybe the walk-up champions of the ACC last year. Maybe not quite as good this year.
You're disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, Darren.
I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. Last year was so good with some of them that they like on paper, you look at it and it's not as good as it was in person, perhaps, right? Was it Logan Bravo who did Foreigner?
Yeah. I mean, so good right off the top too.
Yeah. So like, and that's one that if you would have read it off of a list like this, it's like, okay, like that's fun. It's cool. But then it just turns into this thing. And as it turns out for the entire season, if you were in a press box, I know for sure, covering a Duke game, you'd be like singing along with it. when he came up. So some of these have that potential, but it hasn't necessarily played out the way last year's list did. Does that make sense?
Don't you love, for those listening at home, the analysis, the insight here? I mean, this is hard-hitting stuff. I mean, this is as serious as I've been about the sport this season. I have not gotten to make it to the Jack quite yet this year. I think they're their own enemy. Last year, 1 through 9, they didn't miss once. Once. Every guy that rolled out of the pen, it was on brand. I haven't been able to look through the list this year. You want to run me through some of your highs and lows?
Yeah, let me see. I want to start with like impactful players, just to kind of let's get a sense of what we're working with here. Okay. All right. Okay. We're fans of Gabe Nard on this show. Big fans of Gabe Nard. Man Eater by Nelly Furtado is pretty good.
That's a great one.
That's
it's a good
pretty good.
By the way, I'm foreshadowing that Daron's bought in on Duke by the end of this segment. Like he's going to be back in. He's disappointed, but he's just I can see it in his eyes right now. He's fallen back in love.
How about James Talon?
Okay.
Fleetwood Mac's The Chain.
Okay, so I have that one as well. Blake Gillespie of Charlotte, who's been one of the best Friday night starters in the country, walked out to The Chain. And I think that they're to match the song, to give me a little Stevie Nicks vibe, you have to have some aura to it. So I like that one a lot.
Yeah. I like that one for Talon. Let's see some of the higher numbers here. J. Cole, G-O-M-D. I don't know that I know that song off the top of my head.
I don't either, but I know J. Cole.
That's AJ Gracias. I'll have to listen to that.
How about what's KJ's?
So, okay. Kyle Johnson, his hitting walk-up is a track entitled Change Me by Big X the Plug.
Hey.
How about he goes with Lauryn Hill for his pitching walkout? Doo-wop.
Huh.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
The tide might be turning on.
I could see it already happening.
Noah Murray, who at the time of us doing this had a walk-off hit last night.
Yeah.
Astro Thunder by Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Professional wrestling heel Travis Scott, famously now punching good guys in WWE. Don't love that, but that's okay.
WWE for life. See, like that's another one too, where if the song or the person, the artist brings and ties it back in. Like I remember in the Astros when Travis Scott dropped Astro World, the entire Houston Astros 2019 team walked out to one of his songs. So they basically just like rolled through the album, and the entire city was like behind that like album because it was about obviously Astro World, where my dad actually grew up going to that amusement park. So there's like a level to, ooh, I see what you did there. Like I didn't see it right up front. You had to do a little bit of investigative Big J journalism. Yeah, but I'm a big fan. I like that one.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else on Duke you're curious about here?
Come on. Give me the stash. I've been playing NIL agent for Ben Miller. It's a travesty that the Monopoly board game or Pringles have not called about him.
How about this?
How
about this? The ACC's home runs leader walks up to Demi Lovato and Joe Jonas. Yeah, wouldn't change a thing.
All right. Don't you dare speak ill of the Blue Devils again. Demi Lovato is magical. Now I have to tell a story because I would be remiss to do so. It's part of the reason why we're doing this. As you can tell, we're insanely passionate about this topic. One of my best buddies, Aaron Miller, freshman year, Big South freshman of the year, freshman All-American at Charleston Southern of all places. He's a fantastic baseball player, but not able to avoid the sophomore slump his sophomore year. He's struggling mightily. We're in the cages. He's down and out. He's getting torn up by a pitching machine. We got first pitch in an hour. And he goes, I know what I'm going to do. He walks upstairs and he changes his walk-up song, and he doesn't tell a single person. True story. Doesn't tell a single person. He hits in the 2-hole. He walks up to the year 3000 by the Jonas Brothers. And in the first pitch, he hits a ball 408 feet over our scoreboard. And the entire place went absolutely bananas. It was awesome. So the year 3000, Jonas Brothers. So Joe Jonas and Demi Lovato. Heartstrings. I'm all in. No wonder Ben Miller's hitting more home runs this year. All the sense of the world.
I love that story because it portrays the power of a good walk-up.
And that's all we're trying to tell you at home. This is not a game. This is about our lives.
All right. Okay. Hold on. So that begs the question. What were we have talked about this off air, but I might not remember every detail. What were your walk-ups? Take us through year by year.
Okay. Yeah. I changed them every year because I didn't play good enough for it to be like, it was the song that did it. That was really what changed my season. We mixed it up. We got 2. So I would usually try to keep people on their toes with like for example, I was Something to Prove by Lil Baby, but then also Last Dance with Mary Jane by Tom Petty. I was Bohemian Rhapsody my entire senior year because just a massive Queen fan. But then I'd also hit you with the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song. I'd go Power Rangers Mighty Morphin, but then I'd also hit you with Tu Playa by Migos. Darren, it was the duality of man every time I got in the box. I wanted pitchers to think I was borderline schizophrenic.
Dude, had I been like high major D1, I would have been such a problem. Ops people would have hated me. They would have hated me.
This is the passion. Yours was good, though. I remember yours vividly.
So in my 2 years on the team at the Division III level, I think I've told this story before. Tore my labrum, got out of player mode, decided I was calling games, and that was that. Smart. Anyways, my walk-up for those springs, they were not off. It was not oft used, but the summer as well was Self-Esteem by The Offspring, which gets me to our first shout out outside of the ACC since the 2 let us off from Jacksonville. He's got 2 starts on the year, 19 ABs for the Bulldogs, who are, you might have noticed, pretty good. Shout out to catcher / infielder / outfielder, according to the official roster, Brennan Hudson of UGA, who walks up to Self-Esteem by The Offspring. He might be my new favorite player in all of college baseball. Utility to the truest sense, and he walks up to Self-Esteem. Love it.
Can't make it up. I would like to let Georgia baseball know that you now have one of the biggest supporters in the land. Yeah, same walk-up as the boy. You're going to be all in on the Dogs anytime this kid graces the field. You're going to have like the ping notifications on your phone set.
Yes, I am. And I was, apologies to the Georgia Bulldogs, by the way. I was very late to the thread adding their songs, which they apparently posted like not even a week into the season. But that's when I discovered them. So they're on the thread now. They're on the thread. They've got some good ones on here. Some Ty Dolla $ign. How about Zaborowski crushing baseballs? Walking up to Tom Sawyer by Rush.
See, this is why I love the walk-up. I feel like I already know him now. You know what I mean? Like, listen to Rush. You got a friend in me. All in.
Yeah. It's pretty
it's strong.
It is powerful. Again, just back to it's powerful in so many ways. You can tell somebody who you are as a player, as a person.
Yeah. It's why I liked mine so much, because there was this idea of what the hell is he going to do now? Like my freshman year where I redshirted, it was It was Stuntin' Like Mufasa. It was a Lion King remix of Stuntin' Like My Daddy by Lil Wayne. I knew I wasn't walking up to any plate at any time, so I could get really out of control and being like, what is happening right now? I wanted that effect. That's why I liked 2 Playa by Migos so much, because it was like, oh, he's going to walk up to Migos. But what people don't know is like the first 20 seconds of that song, it's just trumpets. So I could have gone like just straight jazz if I wanted to, but it's just a trumpeter like getting after it. But they're like, when's Quavo showing up? And he's like, no, it's Jack. He's not worried about Quavo. He likes the trumpets.
That actually brings up a really funny situational thing for me. What do you think in this era where, if you're in an SEC school, they're going to post the walk-ups.
Yeah. Okay.
If you are not anticipating you're going to get a lot of playing time, but you want to get some laughs out of people like you and me, you want to get some NIL money,
yeah.
Right? Maybe you make it a certain commercials jingle or whatever.
So I'm glad you went there, Daron. You went down to Athens. I'm going to the rivalry that's 2 weeks away from being renewed. They were my preseason College World Series finals prediction, just because I thought the script writers were just too invested to not let Texas and Texas A&M play for a College World Series. Yep. It just made too much sense. What I did not realize is that these two might have the 2 best walk-ups in the country from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned commercial jingle. He is known as the Ivy League Babe Ruth, Wyatt Hensler. Now, I have not been to College Station in Bluebell Park, so I cannot confirm or deny. I just know that Aggie Baseball ad, his walk-up is the Home Depot jingle. Different. I'm not sure how I feel, but the rest of the ball club, I'm a fan. Tell me how you feel about the Home Depot jingle before I move on, though, because your face says it all.
I think I feel the way he wants me to feel about it, right? It's like, okay, bold. I get it. What's their slogan? It's like, for those who get things done. Hensler wants to be a guy who gets things done.
It's the power of the Home Depot. Hensler's got juice. I get it. It's different. I almost thought that it may have been a joke that Hayden Schott had gone to A&M admin socials team and gone, hey, would you mess with him a little bit? Give him something weird for me. Because Hayden Schott's walk up, I might add, really good. George Michael and the Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Does that not match the personality?
That is
not love it anymore.
Schott is, and this is further proof, he is your favorite college baseball player's favorite college baseball player.
Favorite player.
Sometimes the joke can turn into a thing though, right? Like, again, just as I discussed with certain songs picking up in ways that players don't anticipate, like the joke can become the movement in a way. Like, I'm looking at you 2019 Washington Nationals and old friend alert, former NC State Wolfpack star Trey Turner comes up to Baby Shark, right? It was him specifically, right? I think maybe not. Maybe it turned into a whole team thing. Anyway,
it was Geraldo Parra. I was in the building crying my eyes out watching my Houston Astros lose to those guys in the World Series in 19. Parra walked up to Baby Shark, but you're right. It became their team's identity. It was nuts. A town that could not care less about baseball was infatuated by the fact that Baby Shark was going rampant throughout the major leagues. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. And it was just like, hey, remember that time? Entire stadiums were just like singing along to that. It's sometimes that can become the thing that catches on in the movie. So I don't know. I would have to see how I'm struggling to think of ways that people can interact with the Home Depot theme, but
people just show up wearing hard hats. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Here's
another one that's kind of it feels like a bit. Like if you'd have told me that Soulja Boy was back in our world, I would laugh.
Yeah.
But Ben Royo, who just hit 2 home runs against the number 1 team of the land, known for his leather goes big fly. Ben Roy walking up to turn my swag on. Soldier's making his way back. And I don't hate it.
It takes me back to undergrad. Because again, that's what's popular again now. We had an intramural flag football team that we called Turn My Flag On because of that song. It was a terrible name. But that's what that makes me think of.
You're right. That is awful.
I'm going to go. You mentioned Texas and A&M together here. So as we maybe look to wrap this thing up here in the next few minutes, because we could do this all day and we just got to cap it at some point.
No.
I'm gonna turn everybody's attention to the Texas Longhorns, who I believe collectively to have the best mix of walk-up songs in the entire country. And I'm gonna drop 3 songs on this list as proof of that, and the range, okay? Boombastic by Shaggy. That's our friend Casey Borba. 9 to 5, Dolly Parton.
So good.
And Despicable Me by Pharrell Williams. That's all you need to know, is that those 3 are on the list. And it's like, okay, the Longhorns are different.
How about, and all impact guys like Jaden Duplantier coming out to freaking Despicable Me. And then the SEC, I believe, pitcher of the week. I know Max Wiener was fighting for him like crazy. Ruger Rojas, Poker Face, Lady Gaga.
Great.
No, hey, Kendall Rogers might say that they're not the best team in the country, that they're number 2, but they're number 1 in my ears right now.
It's just an incredible list. There's Dr. Dre, there's Leonard Skinner, there's Bad Bunny, Zach Brown Band, Summer Love by Justin Timberlake.
They went different. I think it was a requirement. They said, bring something to the table we've never heard before. And and Hookem delivered.
I mean, it's good.
It's strong. Now, I want to finish. You said we got to tie this thing up. Before we go, there were 3 special shout outs, and I'll do it in a way that hopefully segues perfectly into you. You're el profesor. You're the teach. You got to shout out one of your students. Charlie Jones of High Point Baseball. Bad Leroy Bound. For those that know, I'm a massive High Point Panther fan. Charlie Jones, well done, sir. Snaps to you. Well done. Is he a good student?
Very good, very engaged. Granted, it's like I teach sports announcing, so it's an easy class to be interested in. Yeah. But from my perspective, Charlie Jones, he actually walked in to class on Monday and knowing how the series went for them against Upstate. Was like, hey, did you throw it all this weekend? And he didn't say no, but he didn't say yes, right? He just kind of like shook his head a little bit. I'm like, that bad, huh? He's like, yeah. Not the way we wanted it to go, teach.
How would you grade the walk-up? What grade would you give on it?
Is this
bad Leroy Brown?
Yeah, can we make this binary? Is this pass fail? Walk-up song grade feels like pass fail. That's a pass. That's a hard pass.
That's a easy cop out. I'll give it to you though. My second one, also another mid-major junkie. He's one of the best players in the country, and John Bay at Austin P. Now, it ties in everything. It ties in the fan base that's really strong in Clarksville, Tennessee, which sounds crazy if you've never heard of Austin P. So the fans are interactive. It plays on the name, which is one of your favorites. And then also, it's just a good song, which really is all 3 tools that you're looking for, Dana. John Bay of Austin P walks up to, hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Oh.
White girls dancing in the club. Hey, baby. And the whole place is doing it with him. And by the way, the kid hits 400 and he hit 27 home runs last year. It's good everywhere. Yeah.
That's a 10 out of 10.
This is that might be my 1-1.
I think, yeah, it might be tops. That's so
Yeah.
good. Oh man, because like you can stretch it with the name thing, right? Like you can. Jury's still out for me. Going back to Duke, Ben Rounds is walking up to Benny and the Jets by Elton John. Good song.
Forced is your question. I think that's where you're going.
Who are the Jets? Who are the Jets? I mean, it's maybe if you played for a team that was called the Jets, I would say it's a little too on the nose. So I'm not exactly sure what my issue with it is, but like maybe just a little too on the nose. I don't know.
Okay.
But if he hits and has some big moments, it becomes a thing, and we all change our minds about it, right? So it's again, jury's out on it.
Okay. And now my third and final. And if I were taking your class, I believe this is what they call in the industry burying the lead. Now I'm doing so because I'm worried that I'm going to lose your listener. I want their love. I want their attention. I'm a people pleaser. I want all the college baseball people to love me. Okay. I might lose them with this pick. I just might lose them. Daron, if we weren't on the same frequency, I know we are now with this pick. Sam White of West Virginia. And you've got a young man as well that walks up to the exact same walk-up. Folks, you can call me what you want, but you can't call me broke. I'm a massive fan of ABBA. And Sam White walks up to Gimme, 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 and I could not be more of a fan. You can laugh. You can make fun of me. Mamma Mia is a brutal movie. Fine. ABBA's fantastic. Shout out to Sam White.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because Tyler Albright, who has had a breakout year for the Duke Blue Devils, is on my list, and I did not mention him. Yeah. He walks out to Gimme Times 3, as I wrote it down shorthand. Gimme Times 3 by ABBA. Very good. Very good. And like he's having a tremendous year. Coincidence? Probably not.
He said, gimme that freaking second team all ACC selection, huh?
All right. I'm going to shout out our friends at Turtle Box because we've been talking music. What better way to consume great walk-up music, whether you got it on a Spotify playlist or if you're just going to go one by one and use the search functionality on whatever app you listen to music to. Hook your device up to a Turtle Box. College baseball fans, if you care about the tailgate as much as the game, Turtle Box is here to help in listening to your favorite team's walk-ups as you mentally prepare to cheer them on. The outdoor-ready, waterproof Bluetooth speakers pack a loud punch with premium sound that's built to be drop and crush-proof, perfect for tailgates and those unpredictable weather days. As the official speaker of D1 Baseball, Turtle Box takes your tailgating experience from ordinary to epic, no matter where you are and no matter whose walk-up songs you're listening to. That just felt right. Shout out Turtle Box while we're talking about music. Why not?
Let's go.
I think that does it. We have spent well enough time talking about not a lot of baseball, but hope you enjoyed it. Walk-up songs that are our favorites. I sent something out on Twitter. Let us know if we missed one. Ream us for it. If it's somebody who's not on one of these lists that we were looking at, I would love to know who other teams walk up or what other teams walk-up songs are. So help us out. And that'll do it for this edition of ACC Baseball Etc. Champs, any final thoughts or words?
Beautifully said. I think we clip what you just finished us off with and get the people fired up because this does feel like a touchy subject for a lot. And I think we're going to get a very interactive audience this week.
I hope so. That's my hope. All right. Enjoy the games. Go your team. Go college baseball. And Danny and I will talk to you early next week. We'll see you.
Go your team.